The goal here for Sentinels is just to try to get as much damage as they possibly can. If they can contain people to not be able to save their weapons, that's a huge victory for us as well. They're not going for the win here, they're just trying to contain and try to do as much damage as they can financially right now. This is huge. Huge.
No way. 3 kills. And is there time on the clock? Can this be
there might be.
It's diffusing halfway.
Oh, there might be. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, wow. Do you want free coaching? Well, now you can. My coaching is absolutely free at my Discord. Here you'll find an inclusive community full of awesome people wanting to improve just like you. Simply join, submit a VOD following our submission guidelines, and voila, you're in the queue. But how am I making this possible? Well, that's thanks to the generous Patreon supporters just like you. Tier 3 Patreon supporters get access to exclusive 10-mans, pro VOD reviews, and a private draw for coaching on top of increased odds for the main draw of coaching. What are you waiting for? Join up today. This is very common. You're going to see a 3 group and then they're going to try to aggressively push through. This is why I say Fracture VODs I don't like, because it's never played correctly. This is actually the right way to play Fracture. You got to be aggressive in certain areas. You have to be willing to give up certain areas. And then from there, you're gaining information. Now, okay, so let's talk about what Sentinels did really well here. Beginning of the round, they pressed tab. And someone said, threat, breach ult, threat, brim ult. So take a look at how they position themselves. So they've played aggressively to gain information. So that allows them to limit the options of where they think they're going to end up going. It's very unlikely you're going to see 5 people on a gun round, full gun round, with all the ults that they have running through drop. So they're going to make a gamble play and say, let's stack towards B, because it's most likely going to be a B take. That's the first step. Now the next piece is that they breach ult in here. Okay? This was expected off of the round beginning because they're calling out this is a threat. So we'd want to play off-site here. Now, if you had an Omen with an ult, for example, you can argue playing on these areas or argue playing in this spot because you can just dodge those ults. It's not a big deal. But the big deal here is that we have breach ult and we want to avoid the chance of being ulted out here with a brim ult. So those 2 angles right there, we want to eliminate playing altogether, and we're playing for a full retake here. We have TENZ with his ult, which can easily be a great retake ult, so we can open up with that, eliminate all the utility that the enemy team will have, and it'll be much easier to be able to retake on that spot. So they've already decided that they're going to play a full retake from CT. When you have this kind of play and you're playing this high level, it is not wrong to on-site take, breach ult here, but also brim ult here if you wanted to, because you're expecting that they're going to probably do something like this, right? High levels, they're going to read into this kind of play and start positioning accordingly.
An orbital strike committed just into B main, maybe off of somebody's timing there.
So here's the KO ult, and now it's just like limiting their options to be able to take the site. So that's why this works really well for Sentinels, and now they're in positions all around the map where they're able to suffocate on this site take. 37 seconds, they don't really have a lot of time to be able to back out and go back towards A, so now it's just a simple cleanup for them. Waiting for the post plant, waiting for the committal, and then executing off the flashes.
The flash over the top, the aftershock connects.
So this was a great example of fight planning. Seeing the ults of the enemy team and deciding we need to position here and here off the start, and our win condition is going to be on the retake itself.
Not a favorable fight to take. This is Mark just cleaning them up.
Okay, so this will be interesting because now they're playing into the operator towards B, your sentinel towards A. Operator is going to serve as a deterrent. You take a shot, it has an effect. They're either going to commit off of it and challenge it based on how confident they are, or they usually will avoid the op altogether and go to the opposite side. You're going to see Leviathan make 2 choices. One of them is pushing up and committing, or the other one is to rotate into the Cypher traps. So either one is not nice, and it makes it a little bit difficult to make a decision on it. So we'll see how they react to it. They're leaving. This is why I say, as an operator player, guys, don't be afraid to take a shot to have this psychological advantage on them. Throw a shot out there, let them know that you're there, and then immediately rotate out. I often like to think about it when you're on defense. Pretend you're in a 4v5 and let your one player be that extra operator, okay? The operator has the freedom to move wherever you want, and you play off of each other as if you're playing in pairs. That's the way you want to think about it. So keep moving around in this point. I think this is a major mistake for Zekken to stay here in this moment. And he's not taking advantage of that psychological advantage he's got here. The one reason why he's doing it is because we're so pushed up on A main right now. And that's why he's having the confidence to just stay here and commit to it. Wow. Another point here, guys. He drops his op, grabs the rifle. Right, I talk about this all the time. When you're in a 1v1 situation, you're in a retake, you just drop the op at that point. Get rid of it. Up in there.
His face. How does he play it? Satchel back to escape it. Look at the patience there, though. He was trying.
Love that. He opens the door, so now that has become a threat. This pathway here is a threat, and so is the Sands angle.
Get a kill on Mazina before that. And what is that? Second.
Pretty good.
Let's break through.
This is a very standard play. You're playing heavy towards here, and the goal would be to take out underpass, so you can prevent a KJ ult from happening, right? So that's why they're playing heavy towards arcade this round, because they see the ult, and they're like, let's make sure that B is not their target. So this is going to be a good spot for them to be able to be aggressive here, and be able to push right in. Yeah, exactly. This is actually really good.
Right into them with the showstopper king. Does not get anything. Just the one with the rifle before being traded here.
I can't believe they didn't break it. What?
It is absolute carnage and entertainment.
How did that not break it? They went inside. What's going on? I'm so confused.
Gotta step it up. And the big ults online to maybe get a round on the board here. Put a stop to it. A lot of utility thrown their way. This is just to maintain control of arcade. Shy's still going for this, even though they've lost control of arcade.
They even ulted them.
Orthodox rolling thunder, pushing them back, and now they're gonna try and strike right into them with the showstopper king.
Oh, so they canceled. They were gonna push through. I'm surprised they didn't do it. I think it's because they were worried about Ray's ult coming in and killing them. Maybe that might have been the worry. So that was a good read.
The one with the rifle before being traded here, not so out in the open. It is absolute carnage and entertainment on Sassy.
One hell of a round.
Low enough here. Wins this duel.
So I think that the biggest, and this is what makes Fracture so exciting, is that it's like the fast-paced play, or you know, defense is not just sitting there on their hands waiting for something to happen. They have to be aggressive, pushing out certain areas. They have to counter certain ult plays that could be a possibility, right? It's all proactive plays that make it so exciting to watch a Fracture match. In reality, when you think about it, there was actually a trap play here from the KJ util. So they take underpass, anticipating that Sentinels will push up here to try to prevent that site take with the ult. And now they put their Rays in a position where they're like, okay, we're going to put this down. They're going to start traveling through here, and then we're going to ult them when they're trying to come into it. So it's like Giga Brain. And then even more Giga Brain is the fact that they decide to cancel off their ult, which they were fully committed to, once they hear the Rays ult getting popped. Right? So they end up going backward. They end up going the other direction. Right? So it's pretty cool stuff. We see the layers of this. I would say it's a common mistake that most teams make on Fracture. I would say that the common mistakes in ranked anyway is a lack of aggression from defenders. The defenders actually want to be the leading in, because you're getting pinched on so many sides that it's so impossible, like super difficult to be able to defend any of the Razor bomb sites.